here's Ed Bernstein.
Well, next week is Reading Week in Nevada. A lot of schools are having it this week, and in honor of that, we have essentially the class from the 4th grade of the Lunt Elementary School here. Take a quick pan around the studio. It's not often we have a studio office there. Yeah, yes, wave to the camera. And they're here, and I'll explain why in a little while. But also my guest today is Superintendent Pat Skorkowsky of the Clark County School District. And a little bit later on in the show, kids, if you hang in here long enough, we have a little magic for you with Murray SawChuck is going to be here after the superintendent leaves, and we can show you some magic. So it's an exciting day. And thank you for being here. I know that anytime there's an opportunity to be around the kids, you always take me up on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, but on a serious note, I mean, I know you're working really hard. You're in and out of Carson City. This is a critical time, not only this time of the year with the legislature in progress, but also it's critical for the school district on how we're going to fund the upcoming school year and future years, particularly when it comes to infrastructure and other issues. In the paper, they talk about a bond issue,
Sure.
which I understand was passed some years ago.
Correct.
Right?
It was a 1998 bond that was passed, and we're ending up at the end of that bond, and we delivered over 100 elementary, middle, and high schools, which was actually more than we promised the voters we would when we put the question out there. And so that bond expires at the end of 2016. And so right now we're working with the legislature trying to roll over that bond for another 10 years so that we can build the schools we need.
And when you say roll over, it doesn't, and nobody has to come out of pocket anymore. I mean, the bond's set in place. It's a matter of it maturing or continuing to provide funds for schools.
That is correct, and it would be over $350 million that it would now be able to do. And so we actually have projects that we call shovel ready. So if this were to pass in the legislature now, I would actually direct my staff to get out there, and we would be building and moving towards 10 schools, 8 of them right away in the first year. And then we would be looking at replacement schools too, some of our older schools, and then the infrastructure in our existing schools to make sure that the heating, air conditioning, internet infrastructure is in place for these students that are 21st century learners.
Yeah, because some of that infrastructure is just not working the way it should be. I mean, we have some old schools, and look, you've been in the system for a long time.
Yes.
You're a principal, been an administrator for a long time in Clark County. And there was a time where we just kept needing more and more schools every year, and then they became, we had a recession, and it kind of leveled off, and we didn't think we'd have to build schools. But that's not the case anymore, is it?
No, we've actually grown over 2,500 elementary students since the end of September. And since February 2nd, when the session started, it's an additional 560 students at the elementary level alone. So right now, I could open up 32 elementary schools and still be overcrowded at the elementary level.
What happens if this bond doesn't get continued?
We will have to look at some very difficult decisions. We will look at year-round schools for schools that are overcrowded and densely populated. If those year-round schools get to where in their attendance zone they have too many kids, we may have to look at double sessions. We may have to look at capping schools and transporting kids to where there is seats available, which I will tell you right now, we don't have a lot of seats available, so that would be a tough call. So the dreaded year-round double sessions is something that comes up, and it's of concern, of great concern.
And of course, the double sessions, you have a very early morning shift, and then your later shift, and then kids are going to school in the dark and sometimes coming home in the dark.
Correct. Right. And it is a challenge. We can obviously put double the number of kids in a school at any particular time. But the challenge is making sure that we have enough space for our kids so that they can learn. We're all about student achievement and kids mastering skills, but it's so difficult when we don't have the infrastructure in which for them to learn.
What is our report card like compared to the rest of the country?
The latest quality counts report that came out shows that in academics we are 36th in the nation. In overall factors, which include parents' level of education, poverty level of the students, whether or not families have high school diplomas or college diplomas, we rank 51st in the nation, which is scary. But for the academic piece, we are 36th, and we are getting better. Our graduation rates are increasing, our achievement levels are increasing. We were just recently, 3 weeks ago, named the Advanced Placement Large District of the Year, which means that we increased all of our student population in taking advanced placement classes, as well as increase the number of students who are passing those classes and getting college credit.
So when you say we're 51st in the other factor, some of that is the parents' involvement with, I mean, that would seem to me that's an easy thing to fix, but it needs the participation of the families.
It does. The family is an essential piece in that. It also has to do with our economy. It looks at the number of people who, parents who are in work at that particular time, who are working. It looks at the language that's spoken in the home. If English is spoken in the home, then that's looked upon as stronger than just Spanish only in the home. It looks at their education level. We have one of the lowest percentage of people with advanced degrees, college degrees, out of any state in the United States, which is a challenge.
I always thought that we should have a class for parents on teaching them how to be parents of students.
Well, you know, and interestingly enough, we've talked with the hospitals about potentially giving them an education kit when they walk home with their baby,
right?
Because this is how they can get prepared to get their child ready for school.
And of course, we have resources in the community college and institutions like that that can offer some of these classes to the parents.
One of the things that we've looked at, we have started to go into the large employers on the Strip and actually go into their employee dining rooms and teaching parents how to go online at the computers that are right there and check their students' grade, check their students' attendance, check to see if their homework was turned in. All of these things parents can now do at their work.
A huge factor.
Huge.
Because all this is computerized. And I know I can go on. I've 2 kids in public high school, and I know I can go on the computer and interact with every one of their teachers.
That's right.
Look at every grade, look at every, whether they're in school that day, whether they were late or tardy that day, what assignments are there. But you have to know how to get in.
Right.
Sometimes it's not the easiest program to get into.
That's right.
And it does take a little bit of training.
So that's what we're doing, is trying to go in and train the parents so that they can do that at their place of employment. After we get that piece going, then we can start talking to them and figure out ways that we can get them engaged in school without actually sometimes having to set foot in school, interacting with the teachers in a way that they can monitor their student success.
This week being Nevada Reading Week is a busy week for you. I know that you put those shoes on and do a lot of traveling.
I've already been in 3 schools in the past day. I've got 2 more schools this afternoon. I get out, and it's my favorite time of the year. First of all, reading should be a priority every week of the year, not just this week. But this is the week where we have amazing people like yourself. I get lucky enough to get invited in. We have TV personalities that come in. We have community members that come in, and they read to kids. And so the kids at Lunt will be experiencing that next week. We have some of our district that's this week and some that are next week. So it's an amazing opportunity for kids to see that reading is essential to every job that we have in our workforce.
It's really a nice experience. I've been doing it for years. You go to a school, and the kids are very well behaved, like they are here in the studio, and you pick out a book and you read it to the kids, and it's very, very rewarding to the reader. I mean, and they ask incredibly intelligent questions. It's a win-win for the students and for the reader. And if somebody wants to read and be able to do that, what do you contact the librarian at your local school?
They can contact the school directly, or they can contact the partnership office. And so the partnership office will actually help them get into a school where they need some extra readers. And I will tell you, schools love it at this time of year. It's when you walk in the door, and right before we went on air, I'm out there with the book that our trustees chose. It's What Can You Do with a Tale Like This? And it's an informational text which teaches kids about animals and eyes, nose, ears, mouth, tails, and feet. And it's just a great book to actually teach science and biology while you're reading to kids.
I know in our law office, we send an email around to all our employees asking them, hey, who wants to volunteer to come read? We read at the Lunt School here. And we had several of our volunteers that are, they do it year after year, and I know that, and I've done it for years. But we also donate books. We have a book drive in the office, and any business can do this, right?
That's
'cause
exactly right.
We need books still.
We do, and it may not be just for the classroom. We need kids to have books at home, because if students, research shows that if students read 20 minutes a night, then their reading fluency and their comprehension levels are going to go up significantly. And so we need books to put in the hands of kids who may not have books at home.
Because it is different than hopping on the computer and trying to read something.
When I read a book, and if I'm reading for enjoyment, then it's just great. But if I'm reading for information, I've got a highlighter, I've got tabs that I can go back, so that I can go back and find the pieces that I feel like are important, that I need to know and need to work with. So you learn to be not only a critical reader, but you still got to read for enjoyment.
Yeah, we've talked in the past about technology and how you can use technology to improve performance in schools. How's that going now with the online classes and the interaction with technology and education?
We have about 60,000 of our students who are actually in some sort of online class experience out of the 320 that we have. But we also are now moving to where we have one-to-one devices, and that's something that's in the governor's proposal for this legislative session, is so that at the end of 6 years, every middle school and high school student would have a device that would follow them all the way through middle school and high school. Their textbooks would be on there. So when they are reading, they can actually highlight specific words, click it, and it will pull up the definition of the word so they can understand and comprehend right there. So they can take notes in their device so that they have it to refer back to. So as we get into the digital age, you know, some of us are digital dinosaurs. We're learning. These kids are digital natives. They grew up with it, and so we need to make sure that we're teaching them in the way in which they grew up.
A lot easier than what we had to go through.
Sure, sure.
So every year, our law office has a contest with the Lunt Elementary School, wherein we ask them to do some artwork and create a holiday card.
Yep.
And this last year, we had some incredible entries, and we ended up. Can we show it on the winning entry on? Let me see if we have this on our screen here.
If not, we've got a large one that we're going to show here in a second.
Well, that doesn't look good, but we do have a large one we'll show.
Yeah.
But anyway, this was a card. This is we sent out, and for our holiday cards to clients and people we do business with. So, Superintendent Skorkowsky, I'm going to ask if you could please. We have created, framed the 1, 2, 3, 4 finalists, and if you can acknowledge the students and hand out these framed photographs, I'd appreciate it.
So can I get Desiree to come up? Desiree, would you come up? So Desiree's artwork is beautiful. It looks like an amazing outdoor scene with presents and everything. Congratulations to you, Desiree. That's outstanding. All right, you want to stand right over here in front of Mr. Bernstein? And you can turn it around so everybody can see. All right, Dayanara. Love the snowman. Don't think we've seen any snow down here lately, but it's beautiful and great for the holidays. Second place goes to Karen. Where are you at, Karen? Karen's our third grader here, and she did a snowman, actually a snow woman and a snowman and reindeer and sleigh. It's amazing. And then here is the first place winner, and Jose. So here is Jose. Come on up, Jose. Congratulations to you. All right. These are amazing.
Oh, and there's the photograph from Jose's winning card. Very clever. You want to be an artist, Jose? Yeah. Yeah? Mm-hmm. You're very good at it. You're very good. Well, thank you so much, Superintendent Pat Skorkowsky. And kids, are you ready for some magic? Yes. Okay. Awesome. We'll be right back with Murray SawChuck. Time can change many things, but what doesn't change is our commitment to serve you. So if you've been injured in an accident, or if you need help in your Social Security or workers' comp case, we can get you the best possible result.
Enough said. Call Ed. EdBernstein.com.
Well, we're back with magician Murray SawChuck, and whoever watched America's Got Talent? Kids watch it? Do you remember? Oh, it's probably before your day, huh?
Yeah, it's about 5 years ago, so you're...
5 years ago, Murray the Magician was on America's Got Talent. What was that experience like?
It was great. You know, when you go on America's Got Talent, you're performing for an audience like this, but you don't realize in the cameras there's 22 million people watching you that you know, aren't in the audience. So you see about 300 in the audience, so your mind goes, oh, it's about 300 people. But then when you walk off stage, you realize there's just 22 million people watching you, you know, and it's a risk. You know, you may do well, you may not, you know, because it's a competition. And the stuff we did on the show, you know, I vanished a train, I did a trick of the tiger in a Ferrari. Those were tricks I did for the first time on that show ever. So it's not always good practice to try something for the first time on TV.
Is that a lot of pressure? When you're in America's Got Talent, you got to keep upping your skill, you know,
Yes.
every week, without a whole lot of preparation and
Sure.
to do it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's got to be a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of work, you know, and you want to do something different and better. At least that was my
Yeah.
challenge. You know, I didn't want to do stuff I'd already done. I wanted to do something that was more interesting, something I've never done to you before, and something that really rose the bar for America's Got Talent. So to this day, I'm still the one who's done the largest trick on America's Got Talent, where I vanished a steam train. So.
Now, and you told the kids that you started doing magic when you were 7.
Yeah.
Did you always have the desire to be a professional magician, or was it something more or less a hobby, or which direction do you think you were going to go?
Well, you know, I love the arts. I love being creative. I'm a very creative person. You know, in school, personally, I was really like a C+ student. You know, when it was coming to study, I always wanted to draw. I wanted to play music. I wanted to play soccer. I was very active in that sense. So I did my homework to pass and do well in school, but I definitely wasn't an A student because I was so much more creative, and I wanted to work on that, and that was just the way I went through school. And so my parents were very open to letting me be creative and do what I wanted to do. But, you know, I danced professionally from the age of 5, and I played accordion and keyboard and saxophone from the age of 6. And I got a magic kit for a birthday present, like we all get. And most of the time, kids will do it for 6 months, 6 days, 6 hours, and put it away. I liked it because I was already doing things that got attention from playing music or soccer and that. So I just kept on going for it. And then when I was 10, 11, 12, I started doing kids' birthday parties, which was funny because I was still a kid doing kids' birthday parties. But my dad would drive me around, and I'd do birthday parties for like $50 for half an hour. So.
And here you are now at the new resident magic show at the Planet Hollywood.
Yes.
And when you perform, that's what, Saturday through Thursday? I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
4 o'clock Saturday through, and it's good for everybody who any age from 4 to 104. You know,
Saturday
it's a
through
great family
Thursday
show.
means
Yes.
only not on Friday.
That's right, exactly. It's
Okay.
only dark on Fridays, no shows on Fridays. And it's because Friday is a travel day. You know,
Right.
people are coming to Vegas or they're leaving Vegas, so our stronger days are Saturday through Thursday, so we take a day off.
And it's a late afternoon show, so
Yeah.
it's it's geared
for
toward kids
Of
and
course,
families,
you can come
right?
after school, bring the family, bring the kids. We have some great deals where if an adult gets a ticket, you get a free child admission and a couple of free popcorns and that. So it's, you know, we really cater to the community. I love the community. Me and my wife, Chloe, do a lot of charities in town. We love helping out schools and different organizations that help the community, like you do. You know, you're so great at it. So we love doing that. So. You
So
know.
what is the show Planet Hollywood like? You do the large illusions and the small tricks, or?
Yeah, you know,
sleight
the
of
room
hand?
that I'm in, it holds about 300 seats, so it's like a cabaret type room. I like those rooms to play because they're intimate. Everyone has a great seat. So if you sit way in the back or you sit up front, you all, you know, have a really good seat. And seeing magic is kind of the key. You know, it's like a musician, and not like a musician where you can sit, you know, in the 10,000 row miles back and still get a good show. You need to see what's going on. And we do 3 large illusions in the show that Chloe, my assistant, as well as my wife, is in, and also have a guest act named Lefty, and he's a world champion card manipulator. He's been doing it all his life, and he plays the stagehand in the show, but he does, of course, a lot more than being a stagehand. But that's our show, and it's an hour long for this venue at Planet Hollywood, and we love it. It's one of those shows where the adults will come and get some jokes that the kids won't get, and the kids will get some stuff the adults don't get. So we love it there, you know.
You hone some of the dancing skill during the show?
I don't do the dancing. No, I don't.
Accordion?
No accordion. But I did leave that to Weird Yalankovich and Baryshnikov. They can do that, you know. So I'll stick with the magic. So,
We promised
you
the
know.
kids some magic. You have.
Well, if you promised them, that means I got to do something, Ed. You guys want to see some magic? Yes. All right. So look, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to teach you guys a trick, and I'm going to actually do a trick for you guys. Okay. So first of all, I thought I would teach you. You guys want to learn something? Yes. You guys want to learn a trick? Yeah. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. All right. When you get home, get a piece of cardboard, rip the side of a box off or the bottom of a notepad, something firm, and get a felt pen, all right? And this is what I want you to see is this piece of cardboard here. You put 1 dot on the middle, all right? And then you put 4 here, 3 there, 6 there, and then you're good to go. I've lost everybody. So you put 1 here, you put 4 there, 3 there, 6 there, then You're good to go.
You see,
You guys got
I
that?
had all 6 on the dice. Yeah.
All right, you guys want to learn how to do this? Yes? All right, on this side you put how many dots? 5. So you put 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the right-hand side. Okay, now if you don't want to put on the right-hand side, put on the left. I've lost everybody. Okay, so you guys got this? 5 on this side, yes? All right, on this side you put how many dots? 2, exactly. So you put 1 in the middle, 1 on the bottom, okay? Now if you don't want to put on the bottom, put on the top. Did I confuse anybody already? I hope not. Okay, good. So it's 5 here, 2 there. This is what you have to make when you get home, all right? So that's what you do. You go home, grab some felt pens from your parents, and a piece of cardboard, all right? So here's how it works. You start like this, so it looks like there's 1, but really there's 2. It was 3 people answering. You start like how many? There's 1, right? And then how many there's there? Okay. And on this side, it looks like how many? 4. Yeah, but really there's 5. You turn and say there's 3, but really there's 2. And you turn and say there's 6, but really there's 5. So when you do it in time, it's a really cool optical illusion because it looks like there's 1, 4, 3, and 6. Just like that. What do you think? Give yourselves a round of applause. I think it's pretty cool. So here's what's interesting. The key is never ever remove your hand. Like over here, you don't think it's how many? How many? 5. 6. No, see, it's 6. That's the idea. You never remove your hand. See, like here, you don't think it's how many? 3, just like that, but never remove your hand. That's the idea. Or you just put all 8 on that side. That's kind of the way it works. See, you guys have to wake up. Come on now. You got to stay focused.
So, a lot of this is really your mind and your eyes playing tricks on us.
It
right?
is, of course.
Yeah.
It's all optical illusions. Can I do one more trick?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I need someone to come up and help me. Is there a little young man named Jose? Is that Jose right there?
Yeah.
Come on up, young man. How you doing? Give this guy a big round of applause. You stand right there. High 5. You all right? I like the glasses. It's like a Murray starter kit. I love it. All right, just stand on the right just a little bit right here. All right. Can I borrow something from you, Jose? Can I borrow this? I promise I'll give it back. Did you wash your ears this morning? Did you? You're going to have to help me, all right? Very simple. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to pull on my sleeve so you can see that I'm not using my sleeve. Take this little red ball. You want to touch it? That's enough. Okay, so here's what's going to happen, all right? When you're just, okay, so, no, okay, so here's what's going to happen. You take the ball, you place it in your hand like this, blow on it. Go, blow. It disappears, goes back to my, boom, pocket. All right, so that's the idea. Every time it disappears, it goes back to my, 3 people got it. When it disappears, it goes back to my, good, all right. So blow on that again. I'm going to clean it up, blow again. Now when I squeeze this, Jose, like this, pull that side of the ball. Just pull it. Perfect. 1 for you, 1 for me. All right. So here's how we're going to do. You got that? Okay. So what's going to happen is when this goes in my hand like this, blowing it, disappears, goes where? You guys are really good. Okay, so here's what's going to happen, all right? Which one do you want me to use? This one or that one?
This one.
That one. What do I switch them? Which one do you want me to use?
That one.
How would I switch them again? Which one do you want me to use?
That one.
Perfect. All right, open up your hand for me, Jose. Take this. I'm going to squeeze the ball. Squeeze it super tight. Super, and hold your hand way up here. Don't let nothing happen to it, all right? I'm going to take the second one, place it right on top of your hand. There. Do you see it? Don't do anything. Do you see it? You don't see it? Here, keep your hand closed. Keep your hand closed. You sure you don't, do you feel anything? Nothing here. Bring your hand over here, like this, like mine, and then slowly open it up. Oh, you're hired. You're in. Look out, Planet Hollywood. So here's what's going to happen. So instead of using, just 1, we're going to use 2. Is that okay? Yes? Take the 2. Hold the 2 as tight as you can. Super tight. Really tight. Hold it really high. Don't open those hands. Really tight. I'm going to take my 3rd one right over here. Boom. All right? Now watch. And take this. I'm going to place this right on top of your head. There. Do you feel it? Do you guys see it? Come on. Here. It's right here. Watch. Okay? All right. Do you feel it? No? No. Here, I'm going to take some magic dust. Hold on. Let me see. I got the magic dust. Where did I bring it? Here we go. Watch. There. Do you see the magic dust? Do you guys have any idea what magic dust does?
Disappear.
Does nothing. It just looks good. All right, here. Put your hand right here. And then slowly open up your hand. Just open it up.
Oh!
Show the cameras. Oh, you're amazing. High 5. Big hand for Jose. You can have a seat, young man. Thank you, thank you. There you go. See?
Hey, have you seen that thing going around Facebook with the dress and the colors?
Yes, you know what? Me and my wife had a conversation about that, and of course we did it just before we went to bed. So it's like midnight, and I said, "Do you see this thing online on Twitter? This blue dress, black dress thing?"
Right.
It's like, no, she was, and we were completely opposite. She was It's black and
my wife
black
saw
and gold,
black and
white or something, black and white, and I said blue and gold.
Oh, you're blue and gold.
Yeah, I saw blue and gold.
White.
Yeah,
Gold
and
and
my wife saw black and white, and I think I saw blue and gold or something. I was like, no, I definitely saw the gold. I didn't see any black. The blue or white I could understand, but the gold, and with my eyes, I just saw gold. What about you? What did you say?
I saw the gold and white. My wife saw black and blue.
Yeah.
So that kind of proves that everybody looks through our own lens of how we view things.
I agree with that.
And you are a master of manipulating that lens.
Well, yeah, you know, that's kind of our job, isn't it? We're kind of, you know, we have graphic designers, we have movie producers that make these cool things we watch, but, you know, I'm almost the old-fashioned kind of live, you know, turning reality into illusion, you know what I mean? Trying to make whatever you see in front of you, it's that whole saying, is seeing believing, you know, and sometimes it is in magic. You know what I mean? Almost like when you go to a movie set at Universal Studios, you drive by the Bates Motel, you drive by Zeusville or whatever it is, you know, and it looks real, but you realize it's just the front of a house and half a tree, you know, but from the front it looks like it's completely real, and and I love that. I think that's what kept me in the business. I love believing in the impossible. And here's one thing too, just because you guys are all sitting in front of us, you know, you can do anything you really want to do. I mean, you know, here's the top lawyer in Las Vegas. He's done what he wanted to do all his life, you know what I mean? And here's, you know, I'm doing tricks for a living. I mean, two completely different careers, you know? One that's extremely educated and educational, and one that's completely creative. But, you know, we're both paying our bills and enjoying our lives. So if you want to do something, go for it. Because at your age, you guys can do absolutely anything you want. You know what I mean? So go for it. You know?
Great advice. And you can see Murray SawChuck over at the Planet Hollywood every day but Friday.
But Fridays I take the day off.
And free. He brought tickets for everybody here.
Everyone come.
All right.
Bring your families, okay?
Murray, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ed. I appreciate it. Thanks again, all right?
Time can change many things, but what doesn't change is our commitment to serve you. So if you've been injured in an accident, or if you need help in your Social Security or workers' comp case, we can get you the best possible result.
Enough said. Call Ed. EdBernstein.com.